All right, and now let's shift over here. Okay, good stuff. All right, everybody, help me welcome Mr. Stephen Thomas, Mr. Statistics. God, Stephen, how long have we been doing this?
Since my hair was not white.
Oh, come on. You've always had white hair, haven't you?
No, used to be dark.
Really?
Yeah, one
Wow.
time.
Wow, wow, wow. So is that because of the nine children or is that because of the business? What's been
I
taking
don't
you
know,
out?
combination of both. I've been through it all. I've been doing this since 91. So, started in the midst of a recession here in California, then moved on to having lots of kids, but at the same time had the Great Recession, and then had to deal with doing economics during COVID, and then skyrocketing rates and this unusual environment has not dull, that's for sure. Thought we were finally going to get a good spring, but then the Iran conflict totally threw that for a loop.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we have good information coming from you. We've been doing this together. I would say I opened my company in 1989. You were in the title business, I think, at the time, right?
Yeah, so I was representing buyers and sellers in the 90s. And then I helped run a brokerage. We got swallowed up during the Great Recession, or it did, that the one that I was with. And I hung up my hat beginning of 2011, and I did title insurance and the housing report at the same time.
Right.
So from that on, I was branching off. I think I probably dealt with you right around then, around 2011. So
Well, it's been a great relationship. Everyone, uh, so Stephen is as a very serious degree. Um, and really, when I say loves numbers, it's been fantastic. And I think in the beginning, you were basically Orange County, LA County kind of stuff, and you grew that. And I believe that's giving you a bigger picture, maybe a bigger pool of statistics to draw from. So why don't you to give them a little Reader's Digest version of what you're doing with your statistics, some of the highlights, and kind of work at it from there.
yeah, so pretty much it's all of Southern California. We branched off to the Bay Area, even added Ventura. They felt like that they were not being addressed, so we made sure that we added Ventura County as well. And we're also in the Bay Area. I mean, in the Las Vegas and Phoenix. And I've been asked now, I follow so many metrics, and we have charting for the country as well. So I kind of understand what's going on overall for the country as
Wow.
far as supply, demand, and the speed of the market. So I've got a really good grasp of what's going on by looking at it. A lot of people bring up all the negative stuff, and that there are just tiny little pockets because we all know that real estate's local. So there's tiny pockets that are having problems, but it's not anywhere that I just mentioned.
So talk to us. Let's get down and dirty and understand where the difference is, because that's what you kind of wanted to talk about in the beginning today was why each area is slightly different, and you can do a ton of business up in San Francisco and you can't do anything in Ventura, or you can do in Ventura and you can't do anything in in Menifee. So how's that work?
Yeah, it really, you know that it's all about pounding the pavement and getting out there and everybody's seeing what's going on. You have to know your market though. So LA is a bit slower than let's say Orange County, and Yeah, everybody talks about the Bay Area, and San Francisco's got the big, black eye. But San Francisco is really heating up this year quite a bit, and San Jose has always been hot since I've been tracking it. It's pretty ridiculous. And a lot, and the prices there are just absolutely astronomical. But they're getting astronomical here as well. When it takes $1 million for your average home. And if you're along the coast in LA County or Orange County or San Diego County, a 1.3, $1.5 million house is kind of the bread and butter right now. That's like an average house. So in looking at all the different markets and how and the evolution of it all, I see a lot of it was interesting. Maricopa, Phoenix actually is like a bellwether, kind of tells me the direction that things are going to go more than others. But then they do, as far as the spring market's concerned, they do funky things as far as this whole idea that there are a lot of snowbirds. That is such a myth. I'm tired of listening to this snowbird mentality, especially when Canadians are totally selling their properties here. So you've got and a lot of homes come on the market, even in Vegas, in the month of August, in anticipation of the summer heat's done. But August is still extremely hot, and then a whole bunch of people come on the market in August, and for what? The demand happened the first 5 months of the year. So actually, it's like February through June, and that's about it. That's the most of the demand. And then from there, there's not this like resurgence in demand towards the second half of the year. So that's where Phoenix gets it wrong as far as they're not my bellwether for the second half of the year. I'll leave that up to other areas. San Diego County is really good at kind of a bellwether county as well. It's kind of a leading indicator as to where everything is headed.
So how can you help us help our clients with particular things that are going on in an area, like maybe, marketing to the pool homes in a certain area, or marketing to a two-story homes in another area. How can you help us identify that kind of stuff?
Yeah, that's a bit harder. I mean, we are our statistics that we download. We are not getting into the nitty-gritty finer points like what you're referring to. When I was doing title insurance, what we would do is look for turnover rates, but now turnover rates across everywhere are extremely low. So I don't know what you're looking at for as far as a turnover rate is what a good turnover rate would look like. I do know areas that are a little bit better, but even that, uh, for me, it's just what I've learned over my doing this as long as I have. It's consistency. That's how I was able to build a housing report, because every 2 weeks I'm doing the same thing over and over again. And you're preaching consistency. To me, it's okay, carve out whatever you like, but then hit it consistently. You're going to do quite well. So I really think after hearing Bugar is out, making 20 of his 30 phone calls, that's what it's about. Rather than sit there and do nothing. It's what I've learned a long time ago, and I make these myself. My wife made it even better. I have lists that I do every single day that look like this, and it's just checkbox of everything I got to get through. And if I don't do this list, I'm like udderless. I'm like moving all the way around like a boat without an udder or rudder or whatever. Udderless.
Rudder,
Cow.
rudder.
Yeah, udderless, like I'm a cow. Rudderless. But that is, yeah. I'd rather have a punch list and get through it all on a daily basis. And if you're going to do it, whatever you're going to carve out, you're going to do quite well as long as you do it consistently enough. That's my
So we
thing.
had, I
I
don't know
don't get
about,
hung up on the precise properties. It's you get a feel for a certain area, and the more consistent you are, the more you're going to know. Okay, this is what is hitting right now.
so what are some things that are hitting right now that we can use or go
There's
into our areas and do a deep dive?
Yeah, so there's a different so one of the things that I would do is I would be looking at the number of homes that are going into what do they say they're in foreclosure, they are behind on their payments. anybody could be in foreclosure and have plenty of equity in their house. And that's something that a lot of people don't understand, that they're talking about the number of people that are, there's not a ton, but we do have more people than where we were the last few years that are now getting into pickles, that aren't paying their monthly mortgage, yet they have plenty of equity, because equity is not the problem. It's like it's close to 95 I think it's in California, it's 95% have at least 20% equity in their house. So that means that a lot of these people that get into some sort of pickle don't even know that they have the equity in order to sell. So it's incumbent upon us then to go through the list and make these phone calls and get out there and knock on doors, because they're not necessarily going to answer a phone call anymore. But definitely when you're knocking on the door and saying that I can really help you out, and at the end of the day you'll be able to walk away with money. That's an important
So
message.
it's good stuff. That's a great thought, because I don't really want to deal with foreclosures, and we kind of stay away from that. Yet you've given me another vision that these people are sitting on a ton of equity. So, maybe we need to talk with them and see how we can help. So that's a great idea. When we talk over the years, you've been giving me a statistic that talks about the number of years a seller, single family home seller, stays in their property. Now, in the past, LA County was 22 years. Orange County was 20 years. Inland Empire was, a day and a half. No, just kidding. Um,
Yeah.
so you still have numbers like that? Does that still matter?
Yeah, that's that whole turnover thing. I've been looking at turnover for a very, very long time, and that's because it does definitely tell a story. And I did it. I have not done it yet for last year, but I could give you an idea. I do it annually. It's just an annual exercise that I do. I have to get with the title company because I want to get the exact numbers typically for these turnovers. But the turnover for let's just say for 2024 for Los Angeles County, it was once every 37 years that people are moving.
Whoa,
For
whoa,
an-
whoa,
or
whoa, whoa. This was in 24.
Yeah, and 25 is not going to be. And this is going to be the same year in year out because we're doing the same number of closed sales just about. So
So,
yes.
okay. I mean, we have aunts and uncles and friends and relatives that stay in a house for a long, long time. So that kind of indicates that. But, we also know people that move every 7 or 8 years.
Sure,
Um,
this is the velocity. So the velocity, because the number of closed cells is the lowest that we've been experienced since like 1995 or somewhere around there. It's because there's a lot more units that have been built since then. It's once every 37 years for there. It's Orange County, it's once every 28. For Riverside, it's once every 25. San Bernardino once every 30. So these are these turnover rates that we've looked at and identified, and it was once every 20 years when I was bringing it to you before.
yeah.
So what does that tell you? That tells you that there's still plenty of people. You have to understand that the people that buy there's like this bell curve as to how long they stay in a home, and that bell curve looks like it's after a couple years, it's starting to really increase quite a bit. And then you get to year five and it about hits the top of that bell. And then after year five, it starts to come down and then it stays low for a very long time. So there are a lot of people that there are a lot more people buying a like a forever home, and but that doesn't mean that you keep up with all your people all of your old clients, and they'll refer you off to, you take good care of them. They're gonna refer you to plenty of other people that are in the business. And there's also going to be a big turnover of this silver tsunami. It's not a tsunami or anything like that. It's going to be this gradual increase as we have this big wealth transfer, and that's so there's going to be a lot more houses.
How big do they or do you predict that it's going to be?
It's going to be where you won't notice it, but it will definitely, the volume will get louder, especially in 4 years from now, to
Well,
2030.
when you say won't notice it, you mean it'll just meld into the business we're already doing?
Yeah, it will. And then that's the thing. It's like any of these things, like Prop 19 supposed to create a whole bunch of sellers, these 65 and older. They can move up, they can move sideways, they can move down, they could do it multiple times. And how many of those really came to fruition that you can count on your hands? Pretty sure you
Not
all are going to
many.
have. You're
Not
not going
many.
to. Doesn't
Nope.
mean that it doesn't exist. Same thing with there's going to be a lot of homes that transfer, but doesn't. And these are going to be in these older areas where these people have been sitting a long time. So there will be plenty of opportunities for those people that go, I don't even want to touch it. I just want to get rid of it. So those will be opportunities to turn around and fix them up and flip them and things like that. So it's going to be a fun ride like it always has been.
All right. So tell me what you want to get across to everyone. Where do you want to start with this?
Yeah, I can as far as these people that think that we're going to there's a couple things that I would like to bring up, and that is this whole crash mentality, and I can talk about the United States as a whole. Um, it's just not going to materialize, this crash that everybody is talking about, and the reason for that is you need three key ingredients, and the three key ingredients are you have to have a gargantuan number of homes available. And I'll share a couple slides really quick so that everybody understands what I'm talking about. And
You should have the ability to do that.
I do have the ability to do that.
Okay.
I always check that. I check that at the beginning and prior to you clicking things.
You've
So
done these before.
I've done these a few different times. So there we go. I'm sharing my screen. Can you see that? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So this is what a lot of people bring up. They bring up the fact that this is 2000. First one is 2022. This is the inventory according to the National Association of Realtors, where we hit 1.3 million homes. Then nobody came on the market because values. Interest rates went up so high that things were cost prohibitive, and we were talking about date the rate, marry the house. So a lot of people were waiting for rates to come down, and they didn't even place their homes on the market. So that was 2023. That's that. You could see there was very few homes. Then 2024, we built more of an inventory. 2025, even more homes, and then 2026, we're starting a lot more homes. Oops, did I do that?
So
And
that's what you're showing here is the total number of possible single family homes or homes, period.
no, these are the number of homes that are on the market.
I got it. Okay.
And so this kind of gives you, and that white arrow is what a lot of people bring this up and say, look how many more homes there are. There's so many homes on the market. There's a lot of people that can't that they can't sell their home. The only way to do it is reduce their asking price. That's coming down the road. I've heard this for years now, several years now, that people are going to have to adjust their home. I've been arguing with this guy on his comments back and forth. He's commented like 7 times for over a week on the fact that values just have to come down. They must come down. But that's not the way economics works. They don't work with musts because we're missing ingredients. That white arrow is right here. This goes all the way back to 1982, the number of homes on the market. And what it's really missing is we need a lot more homes on the market. I've talked about it before. You need three ingredients for homes to crash. One of them is a supply glut, way too many houses on the market. When you have way too many homes on the market, that's important because it weighs on the marketplace where if you want to succeed, you have to reduce your asking price aggressively. And the other missing ingredient, because you have to have three, is people that are truly in a pickle where they have a mortgage problem, there are different things that where they have to sell. Like a divorce is one of them. Death is another one. People say when people get married, diamonds. Well, we like to say that that is one, but that has held people because of affordability. But there are things that are occurring right now, but there's not enough people that are truly in pickles. So now we have a lot of people that don't really have to sell because this is where we currently are at right now. We still have supply scarcity. It's just we have very, very low demand because of how unaffordable the housing stock is right now because of where rates are at. And I don't really care where rates have been at in the past. I just did a report right now, which you have to look at rates, incomes, and values to understand where affordability is at. And we're just at a very unaffordable place. LA right now is way more affordable than Orange County. And there are different inland empires more affordable than LA County. So, and then you know why people move in certain directions because of affordability. But there you got you supply glut, you have supply scarcity, and then that's one of the things that I wanted to point out that we're missing those ingredients. So the other thing is we'll go back over here and I'll show you what's going on with the housing stock across the United States. And this is
You said the three things. Remind us what the three things are.
yeah, the three things are you have to have way too many homes on the market. It's that
So
supply and demand thing.
val
What happened during the Great Recession, and we knew there was a problem in '06 at the fall of '05, and what that was is you had demand. Demand started to get less and less, and started to go up this direction on that scale, and we got more and more homes on the market in the fall of 2005. Then in 2006, it went like this. In 2007, it was like this. We had 4 million homes on the market across the United States. Today, we can't even hit 1.5 million. We're at 1,470,000. So that's way off from 4 million. So when you have 4 million homes on the market, you have way too much, and demand was really low. And we had people that were in pickles that couldn't afford their monthly payment. It was the recipe for a disaster, and that's what we had. You flash forward to today, and you have, let's see, this is the total house, the housing stock, all homes across the United States. There's a real health to it. It's extremely strong, and it has been. It's weakening a little bit because some people bought FHA and put 3.5% down over the last few years. And if you've gone flat in values and it's 3.5%, you've been in your home for 3 years, and then you lose your job, you don't have a lot of equity. And so there are some people that are getting in pickles, but it's such a small portion of it. And here in Southern California, in the Bay Area, you don't have that many people going FHA. You have more in Phoenix and Vegas. But where the real problem is in Mississippi, it's in Alabama, it's in Louisiana, and that area right there. They're the ones that are vulnerable for this FHA issue that's going on right now. So there's more foreclosures, but there's not that many more. And so the overall housing stock is really strong. We have 40% of the housing stock owns their home free and clear versus less than 33% in 2010. And this is this thing that I talked about where here, this just shows you the amount of equity. I'm not making these things up. This is right now. We have 85% of everybody in California has at least 40% equity. 85% has at least 40% equity. So, and if you add up the people that have at least 20% equity on, it's 95%. So that just tells you there's not that many people that can, even if they get in a pickle, you can sell. There's plenty of equity in the system. And a lot of people since Dodd-Frank in 2010, we learned our lesson. We have really good loans that you have to actually qualify for that have high FICO scores. That's an aqua blue. We were putting people into homes that shouldn't have been in homes. We all knew that back then. If you were in the industry, you knew people that got loans that you're going, how in the world did you buy a house that you shouldn't have bought a house? Made no sense. We don't have anything like that anymore. So, and that's because of all the wacky things that we did. And I can describe it all day long, but then I still have all these naysayers that say we're going to have a recession that's going to be worse than Great Recession. I'll tell you, if we have a recession, rates fall, and what will bring us out of that recession? Housing. Because we've all been waiting for rates to get in the fives. We were almost there. We would have been there. At the end of February, we were at 5.99%. And then we started the Iran conflict. The following Friday, we had a jobs report, which was negative 91,000 jobs. So we lost 91,000 jobs for the month of February. That day, we would have had interest rates fall to about 5.85%. And you can imagine what 5% interest rates would be like. You guys would be making phone calls and you wouldn't get two leads, Fugaro. You'd get like five leads because that's how it works. It's just a different mentality because we're finally in the fives. So we would have, and that would have set up an incredible spring. Instead, we're still doing the exact same demand that we did last year, that we've been doing since the second half of 2022. 23, 24, 25, 26. Guess what? Demand is the same. The only difference is the number of homeowners coming on the market. Nobody came on the market in 2023, so values went up, even though we had these high rates because we had not enough homes coming on the market. In 24, we had more for sale signs, same demand. If you have more for sale signs, now it's starting that supply and demand scale starting to even out a little bit. And then last year we had even more homes come on the market, and then it became balanced, which is where we are today. Because guess what? This year, slightly fewer homes on the market than last year. So now it's really balanced. It's very, very balanced right now. And that means that if you have a seller that's not gonna price it right, values aren't gonna go up to meet that seller. Sorry, that's not gonna happen. So that conversation for price is so incredibly important. You can make all the phone calls you want and get that appointment. I hope you're sending, like we have the most recent one's called precision pricing. You send that precision pricing the night before you meet with them, and then you sit down with them and you're going to have an intelligent conversation because precision pricing means that if you do not price it right, because you only get one shot at a first impression, if you do not price that home right, it's going to you're going to net less when you reduce the asking price. People go, well, how can that be? Who gets extremely excited about a price reduction? It's not the buyers that have been looking at. They can't wait for the next thing to come on. They cannot wait, and they're searching their apps morning, noon, and night, like everybody does now. They're always on their phone. That's what they're looking at. If they're in home buying, they're looking at it morning, noon, and night. And you only have one shot at wowing them, like seriously wowing them, so that this is why I also talk about preparing your home to be a showcase home, like a wow property. That means you don't just come on the market and stick something in the for sale sign in the front yard. Shoot, that's not the way. That's old school stuff. The new school stuff is you work with your client, you get it all ready, you tell them what they need to do, and then you price it right. You spend a lot of time on pricing because if they reduce the asking price, they'll net less. Because when these buyers are looking at something brand new, they'll look at every photo, they'll look at the virtual tour, they'll look at the price, they know price, and they'll contact their agent if it's, oh my gosh, this is wow, I want to see this. They go see the property. Wow, I want to write an offer. Problem with wow properties is there are four other buyers that did the same thing. Now you have five buyers that are written offers and you have one seller. Now I keep on talking about supply and demand, which bugs the crap out of everybody. But what one seller, five buyers, who wins in this? If you look at supply and demand, well, there's only
Seller.
one house. The seller totally
Seller.
wins. So it
Seller.
goes above the asking price, which for Los Angeles County alone, it's like it is ridiculous. It is like a third of all homes sell for above the asking price. A third. That's huge. Everybody needs to know that. So they sell above the asking price. Why? Because they were wow. They went above the asking price. And you have buyers that say, I don't want to write an offer above the asking price. Well, if it's a wow property, they're just not going to be able to buy the house. That's it. Period. It's you want
So,
to showcase turnkey home, sharpen your pencil.
Steve, just so we're clear on this thing right now, your monthly or I guess your weekly,
It's every
uh,
other week. Yeah.
every other week. Do you indicate in there that right now, 30% of the properties in the MLS, LA County is going for list price or above?
No, I'm talking about successful closed sellers because not what's active.
So I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
Yeah.
I meant sellers that have
Yeah, meant
closed.
sellers. Yeah. I look at the sellers all the time, and
Uh-huh.
we're looking to see what these sellers that close, what they've done, and we have a report that comes out once a month where we do the sales to last price ratio and sales to original price ratio, which is good for when you're meeting the sellers. Sales to last price ratio is good to send to every single one of your buyers and sit down with them so that they understand you're going to have to go above the asking price. You might have to go above the ask price. If you encounter a home where you go, oh, wow, you're not the only one that just did that. Everybody's plugged into the matrix and they're all on their phone. So now you're going to be competing against somebody. You're looking at how many go above asking price. So you're excited about the property. You saw it come on. We went and looked at it. You want to write an offer. When it goes that fast, somebody else is interested also. So the chances are we're going to be competing. So we have to compete. We have to get in there as fast as we can. But most likely we're going to be competing. And if we're competing, that helps out the seller. The seller is the one that wins in that. And most likely there's multiple offers and it will go above the asking price. We just need to set the stage for buyers before even seeing that first house because so many of them say, well, I'm not going to go above the asking price. Then they get burned. And how many times they have to get burned before they figure it out? Well, I'd rather show them the stats and the data and show them that's why that closed sales report comes out on a monthly basis so they understand. This is like, and the chart actually shows it's always there's homes that sell above the asking price. I can go take you to the slowest market of all of our markets, which happens to be Vegas. 10% of everything still sells above the asking price in Vegas. 10%. And that's the people that properly prepared, truly turnkey, ready to go, price it right, sell within like a week. And that's what happens. And that's what you want to do. You want to, what I show in that is you price it right, you go above the asking price, you're not on the market you're on the market for less than 2 weeks. So then it becomes one of those things where it's the seller decides. You want to price it up higher? Guess what? It'll take longer to sell, and you'll most likely throw away money because you'll have to reduce the asking price to meet the market at where it's at. And that's important. So,
So, Steve, do you have this? Do you sell what you just your blurb? Do you sell that on YouTube and we can buy it, hand it to our sellers?
no, I sell it in my housing report.
Okay.
And you subscribe.
I'm
And you
just
get it.
thinking maybe there's another opportunity here.
Yeah, you know what? It's not a bad idea. We're carving a lot of different things that we're doing right now. Yeah, carving out. Right now, our emphasis is we're creating a login site that's part of the subscription. Same, not any price, additional price. It's $20 per month, $200 per year, and you'll be able to log in and get everything for just Walnut because you have
Ah,
a listing in Walnut. Uh,
right.
and then you can get charts and then the statistics and all that stuff and print that out. So, and we're
That's
doing
great.
that for all of our markets, and that's coming in the next like 4 weeks.
Awesome.
So
Good
it's something in
stuff.
addition we're doing. So we do that report. That report comes out every 6 months, where we show that you net less. So we have people that subscribe, and then we always tell them, "Tell us you want the net less. We'll send it to you after you subscribe." And we do that. The last one we have is called precision pricing, and I have it. I can show you again. Let me get to that appropriate slide, and I'll show you exactly what it looks like. It looks. This is actually the wrong one.
Mr. Steven, what's the website name? We can.
It's reportsonhousing.com. And you can utilize I have a coupon code for you guys, Neil, Neil, Neil. Because I happen to know a guy named Neil. And he is really cool. So, Neil, there you go. And then,
You're so flattering. Keep going. You have another 8 minutes. Go ahead.
yeah, so this is the net less. This is and I just did this for fun because that's what I do things for fun. I did it for the month of April, and we haven't quite done May because we still need the closed sales to season a little bit. But this is for April, and this just shows you. So this is what we do in that net less. And you can take a screenshot of this. I really don't care. You can utilize this. We have a report, though, that actually the way I talk is the way that I write, and so that people can actually understand the dialogue behind this. And
So do
and
you uh forgot my thought. I was so excited.
Yeah, so there you go. So here's what it is. For the month of April, 77% of everything that closed did not reduce the asking price. And so I took the sales to last price ratio and sales to original price ratio, and I did it for each property, and the median value is 100%. So that means $1 million property got $1 million. That's what that means, right? And it was on the market for 15 days. So how about the 11% had to reduce the asking price by 1 to 4% in order to find success. They got 98.7%. That's just the sales to last price ratio. That $1 million home just went for 987,000. So what does that mean? That means they threw away $13,000 because they didn't properly price it and take advantage of right now the wow factor of coming on the market. So now you know why you want to prepare to come on the market. You better have all your guns blazing, everything all prepared, ready to go, and this thing shine. You don't shine it. Place a sign on the front of the house and then say, yeah, we're going to be doing this, we're doing that, we're going to be doing this. Do it all beforehand and do your client a favor. And then you're on the market. See those people, 1 to 4%, 11%, 62 days on the market. Shoot, I want to be on the market for 2 days and get 100% versus throwing away cash and being on the market for 2 months. Or the 12% had to reduce it by 5% or more. And you guys know those people. You know those sellers that I don't really have to sell. I'm going to test the market. I'm going to add a little cushion. I'm going to, all the different things they say. Well, that's a waste of money. What a big giant waste of money. I'm going to just see if I can get this extra 100 grand. Good. Knock yourself out because you're going to get 98.2% of the last price when you finally get to it, and that's 982,000. So if you would have listened to me, and this is the whole thing, I don't say it like that, but if you would actually, if you take a lot of time and properly price a home, you're not throwing away cash. Instead, if you 5% or more, that's for $1 million home, that's 982,000. That's throwing away 18 grand, and you're on the market for 86 days. That's nearly 3 months. And these are just the success stories. There's a lot of people that are languishing on the market without success and pull their homes off the market. I think there was that, you see the article on CNBC, and it's from some analytics from Redfin. And it's at the highest point since COVID with the number of sellers on a monthly basis that are pulling their homes off the market. In the month of April, we had a load of people pull their homes off the market. That just tells me we have a load of people that aren't willing to do what it takes, won't price the home properly, and are wasting everybody's time. And so that's important. That's important to know. So I personally, I have a lot of people say, take every listing. You can work them down. Yeah, you could do that. You could definitely do that. But I'm a guy that likes to make sure that I'm only working with people that are going to be absolutely going to be able to get to that point. And they say, well, then write in the fact that in 30 days they can do that. I would do that. That's what I would do. I would actually write it into a contract. 21 days down the road, we're going to reduce the asking price, but realize that even reducing the asking price, I show you, we actually throw away money. And I'm telling you, that's not what I recommend you doing, but you could do whatever you want. I'm here to give you all the data and stats so you can make a really good decision for you and your family. That's what it's about. So I'd rather just the data will speak for itself, and it will tell the importance of pricing. Now they're not going to arbitrarily pick a price. You're going to sit down and have an intelligent conversation about precision pricing, the name of that report. And then ultimately, and you can email me if you subscribe and you go to reportsonhousing.com and utilize the coupon code Neil. You can you can phone me. I don't care. My cell phone's 949-874-8221. And email me at Steven, Steven, at reportsonhousing.com. I'll send you the net less. And you can utilize that. Get it out in front of them. You'll have an important conversation. Then you're going to sit down. You're going to bring 20 comps, at least 20 comps. I know that sounds like a lot. And some people say, I don't have enough comps. I go, shoot, I can do it. I'm not even in it anymore. I have people that pay me my custom rate, which is $400 an hour. I can find comps all over the place. You have to then drill down positives and negatives, superior, inferior, so you can really hone in on price. Because Those are the people winning, the people that price it right. I'm going to spend as much time as I can at the listing. I remember, I think I've told you before, Neil, Tommy Hopkins and everybody were saying, take the listing and get in and out of there in 20 minutes. Shoot, I'm going to spend 3 hours, have lunch with them, figure it all out. I want this thing priced right so that I get to go buy more people lunch. That's really what it's about. Because I don't want any arbitrary price. I want a price that's going to sell where I make money and they get a move. And that's what that, if you start talking like that with confidence, they're going to want to hitch a ride on your pony. That's really what it's like. Tell it like it
Questions
is.
for, okay, any thoughts, any questions right now for Stephen? This is awesome stuff. I don't talk to you for a year and all of a sudden, I'm excited again like a brand new agent.
Now you know what data and stats. It excites me.
Yeah, Dad, I love data. I love it. Good for you.
Steven, the three things that need to be in play, you had supply glut, supply scarcity, and pickle people.
No, yeah, yeah. So it's supply glut. You have to have way too many homes. We have a
Right.
supply scarcity. In order for prices to come down, you have to have the supply glut. We're currently at supply scarcity.
Yeah,
So
so
you have to
what's
have
number
way
two?
too
You
much of a
can't have
commodity.
Scarcity and glut at the same time.
What's that?
You can't have scarcity and glut at the
No,
same
I
time.
know.
It was number
I'm
two.
saying today we have a scarcity.
Yes.
Back in 2006, 07, 08, we had a glut. And that's what we're missing. We're missing a glut. So you need these three ingredients. We don't have a glut of homes. You can't have both of them at the same time. We have not enough. We have supply scarcity. So the three ingredients you have to have for prices to plunge are supply glut. You have to have people that have to sell, that must sell. There's not enough of them, the people that are in pickles. So, and the third ingredient is low demand. We do have low demand. That's the only one. And everybody hangs their hat on low demand, unaffordable, unaffordable, low demand. Values have to come down. My gut tells me it has to go down. I told you I'm in an argument with somebody that has no background at all. And that's what they're saying over and over again. Like as if, and they're mad at me, like as if I'm the one that created this situation. Shoot, I hated it when values were skyrocketing up because I knew it meant that a lot of people were being priced out of the market once interest rates go up, which is what's going on right now. But who wants to give up their equity? Raise their hand. Go ahead. Anybody? Anybody want to give up their equity? So that's what they're
No,
asking. So they're saying, okay, sellers are going to have to come down in price in order to sell. No, they're not. They're just staying where they're at and aren't doing what it takes because there's a real stickiness. Nobody wants to sell their house for less than somebody else did 6 months ago.
I
no
had a
way.
question, quick
Go
question
ahead,
on the
Phil.
townhouse condominiums are languishing here in Silicon Valley. Never seen a disaster situation. Prices are less than they were 3 years ago. 60, 90 days is very common. So condominiums are already being hit, and we're talking Silicon Valley, which is quite
Yeah, it's
surprising.
it's
So can
actually
you comment on what's going on with the condo market?
Yeah, I just listened to ICE. It's their Intercontinental Exchange. What a terrible name for them now. But they were formerly Black Knight. I listened. They have they had their talk at 11 o'clock. So I was watching their stuff, and they've talked about this. And we've talked about it. Attached versus detached. Attached is way slower than detached. We actually had to bifurcate all the data and we show the difference between attached and detached over time. And we have charts for both because attached is getting hit hard and we know where it's coming from. And it's getting hit hard where values are coming down across the country by like 1 point some percent, where values are up slightly for detached. So detached is going up slightly, and attached across the country as a whole is going down slightly. It's not like we're seeing prices plunge, but what's going on is that it's just the how unaffordable they are. There's an issue because we have the issues with condos are HOA due problems. We have too high of HOA dues. We have not enough reserves. People say insurance, that's part of reserves. They have to have the necessary reserves. So dues are going up because of fire insurance. And then you have litigation is a problem. Here in California, we have that wonderful thing called balcony certification. Million condos across the United States, attached properties have to go non-QM, which means they can't get Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae loans. And that's going to go up January of 2027 because the reserve requirements are going to increase. They have to have higher reserves. So that's just, there are more and more problems. And then there's special assessments. If I was representing a buyer in an area where there's a property that's been languishing on the market that's a condo, I think I would write in there that the seller to pay any special assessments over 2 years. That's a really good piece to put into your offers if you're representing a buyer. And I said that to, I'm not doing real estate anymore, haven't for many, many, many years. But I had a family friend that had recently been divorced. He's purchasing a condo, and he wrote that into the offer, and it got accepted. So those are the kind of things that we have to do to help with because that's what's it's making some buyers a little bit they're hesitant on making a move in condo land. But it's good to be purchasing in that, but you have to understand the full equation of how much it costs and all that stuff. It's very expensive. And that's why there's a push on prices to come down for condos. And it used to be the stepping stone to home ownership, but because of its expense, it's not as much of a stepping stone. And that's why it's a slower portion of the market, not just in Silicon Valley, it's across the country. It's everywhere.
Yeah. And without these condo sellers moving out of their condos into houses, it's going to stifle the housing market, I believe.
And it already has. I mean, it's not going to get much worse. This will improve once rates come down. And everybody if I talk about rates one more time, everybody gets upset about me talking about rates all the time, like supply and
when
demand.
will they come down? That's the question.
I'm so sorry. Well, we were right there, and then we started the Iran conflict. I'm not into politics at all. Now you know why? Because I was praying. I was on my knees praying for 6%, and then because of AI at the beginning of the year, and everybody's going, "Oh my gosh, AI! It's going to replace us all. We're all not going to have jobs. We're going to have digital units." All the dumb things people are saying about AI. Lean into AI. This isn't the first time that we've done anything revolutionary, for Pete's sake. But there was such fear at the beginning that I changed my prayer to, I wanted it in the fives now. And that was just to get rid of everybody's talk. Once you get in the fives, people are going, AI shmei. I want to go buy a house because we're in the fives finally, baby. We haven't been in the fives for 46 months. 46 months was the last time we were in the fives. So I don't know. So all those people are waiting. Yeah, I'm waiting for interest rates to go into the fives. It's been 46 months since the last time we were there. It was another 46 months. Well, now we're over. That's a long time. 90 months. How long are you going to wait? I don't know. So we were right there. I was a little disappointed.
Okay, so throw your hat in the ring. Do you think they'll come down when the war ends?
We have an issue with inflation. So unfortunately, rates is not dictated by the Federal Reserve like people think. Just because we have Kevin Warsh in there, he's one of 12 people that vote. And they have a dual mandate of maximum employment as well as price stability. We're having a problem with price stability right now. I don't know if you've noticed it, but it's not just at the gas pump. If you travel, that's also a problem, but it's bleeding to all different areas. Tomatoes are expensive because of transportation, but a lot of food is. So you just need the inflation issue means that we're not going to get to where I want to be in 2026. This could be a 2027 story. And remember, if this thing goes on long enough, it'll crack enough where it'll start to crack the economy. And if it cracks the economy down the road, then we go towards a recession. I told you that's when we get our lower rates. That's when we get into the fives. Because we're right now tinkering. We were below 6.5%. You need to really be below 6.25% for it to be really good. But our base case was between 6 and 6.5%. But it's stuck at 6.6 right now. And we were from September 3rd all the way to the middle of March, we were below 6.5%. That's where I wanted to be. And that's not where we are. And then we were supposed to get into the fives, which is where I wanted to be because of AI. And that was not even my base case. That was that's my second alternative case. But we didn't see Iran, so that threw a monkey wrench in it. So now it's my third case, which is between 6.5 and 6.75. And that's where we're stuck right now until this Iran thing goes away. But it's not a 2026 story getting into the fives. That would be a 2027 story.
Stephen, great stuff. Can you take any other questions? I don't know what your
Sure.
time is.
Sure, I can take a
I just
few more
want to
questions.
say one thing.
Iris, go ahead.
I thank you, Neil. Thank you so much, Stephen. I really appreciate what you do for the industry. I watch your video on YouTube every week.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. We just finished another one. It's going to be released this afternoon. I did that this morning as well.
I have a
Thank you.
question.
Go ahead,
Yes.
Bugar.
There's the guy I was picking on the whole time.
Mr.
Good
Steven,
looking
that's
beard.
that's a great things like we learned from you today, and we appreciate you a lot. And I also learned from my coach when I'm starting my presentation with the seller. I am asking the question, Mr. Seller, what do you think the market right now? Like, do you have any idea? Do you have any information? Most of the seller don't know. And I'm starting on January. It was like we have 50 active listing in your city. Like right now we have 30 price reduction, expired, cancel. I'm giving some report. But I want to learn from you, how can I learn market stat consistently, like the weekly?
Yeah, so that's the genesis of my report, and it's just so the way I speak, I kind of like talk about it. You could see the different changes in inventory. You can see it. We drill it down by each city, so you could actually see the changes over time. And if when you follow me enough, after a while, you kind of hear my vernacular, and the way I talk is I'm speaking to you, so you can make a good decision. That's really
Exactly.
what it's about. And that's really what it comes to. Your sellers, they're just uneducated. And then they can have anybody can come in and give them an opinion, a value. But when you start throwing at them stats and what's going on specifically in your area, and like I said, in the next 4 weeks, we're going to have the ability for you to go there with the exact stats. You could see where the inventory's gone. You could see what pending sells by demand. We only do a snapshot of the last 30 days of pending sales because that we look at those too, and it gives you the velocity. It gives you change over time. And you could see where is the meat of the market. We just peaked 4 weeks ago. We peaked in demand, which means we're coming down right now in demand slowly. It's like kind of flat, and inventory is going up slowly until we peak sometime during the summer, which happens between July and August, most likely August here. So if it keeps on going up from here, we need to tell the story that things are going to actually slow down going forward. And I say it in the reports. And we do a little thing on the inventory, we do it on demand, and we talk about that so that people can understand, so it doesn't take them by surprise. And we have different reports that we do. We have for kind of like a buyer's kit so that they understand what's going on. We do these reports so that they have it's like a buyer's map and a seller's map so that they approach the market with the right mentality. For sellers, it's price and timing and everything else and getting your home ready to go on day one. For buyers, it's you might have to go above the asking price. You might have to you might have to sharpen your pencil if you really like something. It's letting them understand it and know the marketplace so that they can better navigate it rather than I heard the market's slow. I'm not going above the asking price. This is what's stuck in their head because they have no knowledge of what's really going on. We're giving them the knowledge, and the more that you follow, Miss Lamb said, she's watching the YouTube stuff. You get the reports every 2 weeks. The reports drill it down locally, and now it makes more and more sense. And we do a closed sales report, and we do a lease report. And then I'm doing something else that soon also, just so you know, it's called Stevenomics. It's just this own section of YouTube where it's gonna be like 10 minutes, me just explaining why the economy works in different ways within the real estate market, so that people understand. And for the people that subscribe, that site that you can go to is going to be called nerdlabhq.com. So you'll be able to go in there, put in your login information, and go into my Nerd Lab and share my Nerd Lab. So there you go.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Very exciting. Good stuff. Excellent. Any other questions? Are we going to move on here? Come on, come on.
I want to
Steven?
ask the daily schedule, Mr. Steven. Like not right now. Like you start 1991, I born 1992. I
Yeah.
said, I born 1992. My question is not right now, like a long time ago when you're working so hard, when you're closing a lot of transaction, what was your daily schedule look like?
So I worked all the time. I'm not one of those 9 to 5 people. I worked a lot, and it's addicting too, because the more you do, the more you do, the
More
more
the
you
more.
close. Yeah, I just wanted more, and so I was always I built this gigantic database of everybody I knew, and I'd hit them up like crazy. I hired. I didn't like cold calling as much, so I hired a cold caller. I went door knocking, and the more I did, and people would go with me. I mean, I didn't even know what to do. And in 1991, I was knocking on doors. I looked like I was 10, but it's then I wore glasses, so I looked like I was 12. So that's what I did. I didn't. I used to have darker hair like you, not quite as dark as you, and maybe I would have grown a beard, but it wouldn't have been as thick as yours. But I knocked on plenty of doors. I knocked on doors. I actually went to this. The guy up from Canada would put you on a bus. We went on a bus, and the entire bus we would go to this neighborhood, and we had microphones, and we'd go door knock 6 houses, and we'd all hear the conversation that you had, and we used the old "Hi, I'm Stephen Thomas from ABC Realty. When are you folks planning on making a move?" Did that over and over and over again. And you'd be surprised. I would do that in where I'm locally, Rancho Santa Margarita. I did it in Mission Viejo. And then all these people with white hair who were a lot older were seeing that I was getting listings. I was getting listings by knocking on doors. So it's you know what, at the end of the day, and I got really good at honing in my past clients and sphere of influence to the point where I didn't have to knock on any doors anymore because they were knocking on all my doors for me. All of them, all of them. And but so what I would do is I call up every single person in my database every single month. It was, and people are going, you need to do it once a quarter. I'm going, shoot, man, that's not often enough. They need to know I'm around. And I would just say, how's baseball going with them and all that. By the way, if you ever need anything real estate, you know I'm your number one guy. So I just did that over and over and over again. And you do that enough. And these people went out there, and I used to get lots and lots of referrals from them, tons, tons. And I had lots of people that they were just saying, that's Stephen Thomas guy. You're doing real estate, you're dealing with him. So that's what I did when I was first.
Great stuff. Good question,
Thank you,
Vugar.
sir.
Stephen,
Thank you,
thank
sir.
you. Stephen, I
bet.
want to make sure, look at the chat box. I want to make sure that we have your email address and your phone number in there correctly.
Yep, you do. And just, yeah, go to
Okay.
reportsonhousing.com. That's my part of my email. That's where you can go to subscribe. Utilize the coupon code Neil, and we'll get you a free month. You sign up for a year, you'll get 13 months. You're not even charged for the first month when you utilize that coupon.
All right. Good job, Stephen. Thank you very much. Let's give him a big hand. Unmute yourselves. Woo! All right. All right. All right. Okay. So, Stephen, right now, what we do is we take a little bit of time and I ask everybody, what did we learn? What information did you get today? How did it work for you? So, if you have a few minutes to stick around, great. Otherwise, thank you again, my friend.
Yeah, I would love to stick around, but I am off to Long Beach.
Go, baby.
Thank
All
you,
right.
everybody. Have a good
Drive
one.
careful.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Good work, Stephen Thomas. Guys, use the information. If we could clone him to share the statistics to the client with that passion, they're never going to not follow you. That makes sense? All right. What'd you guys learn today? Nothing?
A lot. We learned a lot.
Yeah, we learned a lot.
A lot doesn't work. What'd you learn?
Steven's a workaholic.
Okay, forget about workaholics. Okay, we don't have any workaholics on here. Other than Neil and Steve.
I'm here, Mr. Neil. I'm here.
Okay, Vugar. Good job.
I think it's a great tool for us because we can show statistics and what's going on in the community where they're trying to sell, and it pretty much will help us find a better pricing for their homes, and we won't have to sell them so much or guess on the price. So I think it's definitely worth it.
Okay, well, good. Look, I'm just sharing ideas. If you buy, I think it's a great idea. If you, and each area is a little bit different. I've been buying stuff from him for 30 years, 25 years. So a lot of the statistics I get, phone calls and things I need, tell me what's going on in the market. But two things I got out of this today was precision pricing. Even if you don't buy his precision pricing, okay? Even if you do, and I encourage you to support him, but you can use precision pricing going forward on your pricing. We're allowing the prices to do what I call real estate agent creep. Okay? Real estate agent creep. I think it should sell for between $650 and $660. Oh, no. I wouldn't sell it for anything less than $675. Would you list it for $675 tonight? Yeah, I would probably list it for $675. That's what I call real estate agent creep. No guts, no glory, didn't discuss the pricing, didn't discuss the strategy, just did it. Anyone besides me guilty of that occasionally? Hello? Am I the only one that's ever done that? Are you guys?
I like that he brought 20 comps. Bad ones, good ones.
So you can do that kind of stuff. You can get the information. You can find out what's going on. On a listing presentation, one of my little secret things I recommend is you always drive the neighborhood. You get into the neighborhood a half an hour early because you want to be 15 minutes early to the client. So you drive the neighborhood. And what are you looking for when you're driving the neighborhood? You're looking for signs you didn't know anything about. They're not in the MLS yet. They got listed last night or this morning. And the seller, do you think the seller knows about that listing yet? Sure, they drove right by it coming home before the appointment. You walk into the appointment, what's the first question they ask you? Hey, how much is that house down the street that just a new sign? And you don't know anything about it. You're dead.
Yeah, pretty
You're
much.
dead. How often has that happened? That's one of my little secret things that we make sure that you, A, get to the house on time, early, okay, and B, you know what's going on in the neighborhood for the last few hours. Get it?
We have one agent. Her name is Elise. She's I think 42 years in the business. When she's getting listing appointment some neighborhood, she never been there. She going 30 minutes or 1 hour before she's driving.
100%. That's what we're talking about, Vugar. Okay. She's a professional. She knows what she's supposed to do. So I recommend you guys do the same thing. I recommend you double check the numbers. I recommend you now have precision pricing. And I recommend that you study net less. Okay. His conversation, what he had posted, you study that because that's what's going on in the marketplace.
The opposite is true as well. You have to do a cross property search because there's actually 2 in my farm that do not have signs.
Oh,
and they're out of area realtors.
Absolutely, goes
out
without
of area
saying.
realtors, so they weren't in my regular search. They're in my cross property search.
Right, absolutely, absolutely. All right, anything else you guys learned today?
Mr. I have a question for you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Like there is a one lead, it's a cancel listing, and he bought it 745. It's a condo, 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, and 2007 building, actually like new building. He listed 699. After 60 days on the market, properties get canceled or expired. And what I have to do in this case, and if he listed, he's gonna lose the money because he bought it 745.
What do you mean if he listed?
He listed already 699. Like he's already losing the money, but he didn't get 699.
Okay, so first of all, did you sell him the property?
No.
Okay, so at least you're not the bad guy coming out the chute. All right. You heard what Stephen said about condominiums. If they're contiguous, they're in worse condition, worse shape financially than if they're standalone planned unit developments. Yours sounds contiguous, where they're in the same building. Okay. So can he rent the property out and cover some of the payment?
That's the problem, Mr. Right now, we're receiving, everybody's renting out. It's a cancel listing, expired listing. That's the case right now.
Okay, he's in real trouble. And as much as I'm sure you would like to fix it, I don't know that there's a way to fix it.
But I'm asking the question, have you been landlord before? Some
Of
of them.
course. Oh, yeah, the question to him?
Yeah, I think, have you been
Oh,
landlord before?
100%. 100%. But understand, how big a loss does he have to take for you to get that home sold?
How much lost? I just closed one of them. The seller lose almost 100K, but he want to rid of the property. He said, well, I'm okay for that. Let's lose it.
Okay, I get it. But in this particular case, how much do you think this guy's going to have to lose?
I think he's gonna lose 50K, maybe 100K.
Ask him if he can take the hit.
What's the question, Mr. Neil? How much you can get a loss on
What's
this
that?
property?
What can you get that home sold for? What will move that property? You have to come up with a price that you think, but 50,000 may not be enough.
Understood.
Run some comps on it, and if you want, I'll walk you through it. Okay.
Comps is a little bit higher, but he listed low, but property still doesn't sell.
I understand. And that's just the marketplace. Fel was just talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Here's what I would do. I would go door knock single family homes and not talk to for sale by owners right now. All they're going to do is make you miserable. They're going to make you sad. They're going to be mad at you. Might as well, let's not work with those people. Let's go list other stuff. Fair enough?
Move on.
Move on. And we're not in the condo business right now. But at some point, we'll be in the condo business again.
Well, what I learned is that don't overprice. Do not
100%.
overprice.
Lupe, 100%.
I've been calling canceled listings and canceled. Why did you cancel? Oh, well, they said they could get me this price and then they wanted me to reduce it.
Right.
Right there. You're out.
So don't take an overpriced listing.
Exactly.
Right. So that's why we always talk about motivation, Lupe. When you sell this house, where are you going to go? Well, I don't have any place to go. Well, what are you going to do with the proceeds? I don't know. I don't know that that's anybody you want to work with right now, because you can't get it priced well.
Exactly right.
Half the buys and half the sells is who we want to work with.
Tell them, do you want to get the house sold or not?
Well, okay, you want to get the house sold. They may not want to really get the house sold, but they need to move to another neighborhood because their kids are being harassed at a school. Okay? They may love the house, but because of an outside influence in the neighborhood or at the school, they have to sell. Unless you can rent it out, Mrs. Jones, and it doesn't look like you can, and you want to get your daughter away from the gangs, then what you need to do is sell this piece of property. Boy, I can't afford to take the loss. Well, you have $200,000 in equity. If you drop $40,000, $50,000 on it, you can get this thing sold and work from there. But it's all about the motivation. Everything here is motivation. Your guy, Vugar, your guy is not in enough pain yet.
You know what, Neil? A lot of also
A
when it
lot of them
comes
like
to
that.
a lot of
What?
this. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry, go ahead, Lupe.
That a lot of the listings too, like the older generation that want to sell the house, as soon as they see what their capital gains payment is going to be, they start like, oh no, I
Well,
don't think I'm gonna put my
100%. That's why houses are not selling. Excuse me.
exactly.
That's why people are not selling their houses right now. Did you hear what he said? 30 LA has a 37-year holding pattern right now. 37 years. I was astonished when it was 20 and we were talking about that. You guys been around me for a while. I used to talk about this all the time. But it was like 20, 22 years. But he's saying now that same 22 years is 37 years. So you got to find the half to buys and the half to sells. Get it?
And not only that, many people have legacies to maintain. They want to pass it on to the next generation.
Yeah.
You mean
And
in terms of the house or the property?
yes, yes. And so that's why the supply in our neck of the woods up here, we don't see too many homes going on the market. People don't want to pay the capital gains tax.
The big one is the capital gains,
Exactly.
because if they could pass it on at no capital gains or really, really low capital gains, they're more apt to sell.
I'll put it on the market. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it goes back to a money thing.
Mhm.
I
And
had
every
a
time I hear the government saying that they might have no capital gains, do you know that we were at a time where there was no probate inheritance tax? That's what it was. And it was Steinbrenner died. The guy that used to own the Yankees, Steinbrenner, the family that owned the Yankees, and they sold the Yankees right then, that year. They paid no inheritance tax on the sale of the Yankees. So there are times in the history of the country that happens. It's just not when I'm get ready to go. All right. Anything else?
I had a client, she wanted me to sell her house for $1 million and it wasn't worth more than 700,000 and it was in a really, really bad condition. I'm talking about ripped rugs. The walls weren't painted since like the 1970s and she was just so unrealistic. And I tried to tell her, you're going to have to fix your home a bit if you want to get it sold for that price. And she says, well, I think the new buyers will just have to paint it the own way they want to paint it. So why should I spend money on fixing it? And it went on and on. It went from realtor to realtor to realtor. So
yeah, well, we have to learn to stay away from that stuff. Vugar, single family homes, my friend. Okay, you don't need another condo in your life right now. All right, everybody. Frank, I think you have some calling to do right now.
Who's going to win the mayor's race in LA?
Oh, don't get me started.
Oh, we gotta know. We gotta know this
nothing-
question.
No, who's asking you that question?
They're on the news all the time. LA and California governor's race. Who's going to win, Neil?
Who do I want to win?
Frank,
sure.
you don't live in California.
Who do you want to win?
Now, what are you taking bets?
Uh-huh.
You taking bets?
Yeah.
You're not going to get an answer out of me, but you are gonna get an opportunity to prospect and let me critique it right now.
I see.
Let's go, Frank. Come on.
Got it.
Good job. That was fun. God, I like that guy.
Is Steven or who?
Huh?
Yeah,
Which
Steven.
guy?
Steven.
Stephen Thomas.
Steven. Yeah, he is good salesperson. Like when he
Oh,
talk,
he's great.
when he
He's
talk,
great.
you feel he's is like he can earn right away seller trust, right?
He tends to do that. Yeah. Yeah.
Mr.
No,
Neil,
he's
what's your secret? What's your secret? Like how we can earn people trust very short amount of time. I understand my coach told me asking quality question. Actually, that's work. That's work.
so that's the end. Yet two things I think. One is and not necessarily in this order, they can go in either order. Previewing property at a really high level. I wouldn't be looking at condos because they're not going to sell, right? But I would be looking at all the single family homes as often as I could, because the more you know about the neighborhood, the more confident you are. And the reason Stephen is confident is he looks at numbers 100 times a day. So if he says to you, this is going on, you can bet that's what's going on. That feel right to you? So if you were to see, think about this, preview 5 houses a day, 5 days a week, that's 25 at the end of the week. That's 100 a month. In 6 months, you'd see 600 houses. You'd be feeling pretty confident about your knowledge of the marketplace. Would you agree, Vugar?
100%.
Okay, that's number one. And then number two, know what to say at a really high level. Know how to sell. Stephen Thomas knows how to sell. I know how to sell. You know how to sell. You just have to practice to be able to sell more. That makes sense?
Makes sense.
There's no shortcuts. Every agent I coach starts looking for the shortcut. I know they're in trouble. Stop looking for the shortcut. Go for the long haul. I've been doing this for 50 years. It hasn't changed. But you know what has changed? Real estate agents, because they still think you can cut corners. You can't. Try that.
What was your conversation look like, Mr. Neil, when you're going to preview the property with the seller? Like, for example, a lot of sellers say, bring the buyer, you're trying to handle like a 4 or 5 time. I'm trying to like to close them.
Here's the thing. What seller are you calling? Expired or for sale by
Like
owner?
I call cancel, expired, for sale by owners.
Vugar, when you come to our classes every morning at 8:00, I'll give you all the answers, but right now I'll give you one answer.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, Vugar. So you want me to be the agent, right?
Correct.
Okay. So, and you're the owner of the cancellation. So, Mr. Jones, I'm going to be in the area this afternoon about 3:00. I'd like to come by and visit your house. Is 3 okay or is 4 better?
No, like if you have the buyer, just to bring the buyer, Neil.
Okay, good. You know, Vugar, I don't know if other agents do this or not, but I will not ever show a client, any property without me previewing it first. So has there ever been a time, Vugar, the client, where somebody showing you a house and there was power lines in the backyard, or there was running water, there was water in the streets, or it was a real dump, and you would say, this guy's never seen this house. Would that frustrate you? Would that upset you?
Yes.
Absolutely. So when I show your house, it's because I've seen it. And if I showed you a house, it's because I've seen that house. Now, isn't that the kind of agent you want to use?
Correct.
But it's okay. I still don't want you to come to the house. Okay, so you know what?
Check on MLS, Mr. Neil. Check on MLS.
Okay,
It has a picture.
Got it. Pictures on. You're right. Pictures on the MLS. So, Vugar, Mr. Vugar, let me ask you something. Oh, well, first of all, as a professional real estate agent, it's my job to see all the properties that are for sale. including canceled and expireds. So I need to do that. But you're saying to me that I should just look on the MLS because that's going to have all the information, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So are you the kind of buyer that would like to buy a house with the power lines backing up over your backyard?
No.
Would you like that at all?
No.
Okay. So I don't know anybody else that would either, by the way, but I'm sure there are some people. So I need to go by and take a look at the house. If I showed you that house, there's a really good chance you'd fire me because you didn't want to see that. That makes sense.
Makes sense.
Okay. So no obligation. I'm not coming over to get the listing. I just want to see the property. So can I come over at 4 or would 5 be better?
Four will be
Push me
great.
off again. Push me off again.
No, again, I would like to, if you're coming there to see the property, bring your buyer just to tour together.
Okay. And I appreciate that. So if I had see, remember, I'm not going to show your house unless I've previewed it, right?
Right.
Okay. So even if I know your buyer could want that house, I'm never going to show them that house because I haven't seen it in person. So are you okay missing the possibility of that buyer who might be your buyer to pass it up? I don't really care about the commission, but I'll bet you care about selling the house.
Correct.
Okay.
Is this a buy owner?
Sorry?
Is this a buy owner?
It could be a buy owner, could be a canceled, could be an expired.
Is this a
Right,
house? Is this a house that Vugar wants to
No,
show?
no. He's
It's
just asking me
hypothetical.
scripts and dialogues.
Okay.
He was just
Hypothetical.
asking me if that was a what if.
Yeah.
Vugar, we handle these all the time. It's pretty hard to get by me. And if I can't do that, I'm never going to show that house. Now, how would you like to have that attitude with your buyers and say, look, I'm never going to take you to a house I've never seen? Would they have more respect for you?
Correct. They will.
Is the hypothetical that the sellers won't let them see the house ahead of time?
Yes. Yeah. They won't let me see it.
You or Vugar?
Well, I'm the agent. Vugar's being the seller right now.
Seller, I see.
Okay.
Yeah.
You, excuse me, we're in your way. I want you to be making phone calls. You, Frank.
Okay.
Come on, Frank. I'm going to step out for a minute and I'm going to step back. When I come back, you're going to be on closing for a listing appointment, right?
Got it.
All right. Then.
All right,
you,
guys.
sir. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Frank, I can't hear you. Frank, unmute yourself.
You didn't miss anything, no answers.
Well, what about now? I'm excited.
Frank Sincata, 301 Park Avenue, Addison. Frank Sincata. Frank. Matt. Frank Sincata. For 301 West Park Avenue. 301.
Anybody, boy?
Frank Sincata calling for Bernardo regarding 301 West Park Avenue. I'm a real estate agent in the area, and my number is 847-845-6528. Appreciate the call. Thank you very much. Bye.
Who are the people you're calling, Frank?
Calling the people around the building I saw sold last year.
Oh, cool.
There's an open mic deal.
Yeah.
From last- so-
What'd you say?
This is the second. It was an open mic deal. I found the owner calling out open mic and eventually sold the property. Hello, looking for Janine Goines. Wrong number. Janine Goines, wrong number. You're associated with 308 West Dale in Addison, Illinois. Hello.
Neil, I have a quick question when you get a chance. I can't hear you.
Call my cell number. I need to go into a coaching meeting, so I need to
Okay.
go offline here.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
I think Phil's up next, 4 o'clock.
Yeah, I just wait a minute. Yeah,
I'm here.
Phil's up.
I'm here. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank
There
you.
he is.
No, thank you. Okay.